This is the coldest capital in the world, and it's not where you think it is. It's not where we thought it was. If we were given this question on a pub quiz, we would have most definitely guessed either Moscow or Helsinki, maybe Ottawa or even Reykjavik. But every one of those answers would have been wrong, because in fact, the coldest capital city on planet Earth is the one we just flown into, in the middle of winter where the current temperature is minus 25 degrees Celsius and often dips below minus 40.
Even though it seems like there is no traffic at all at the moment, it's not the case. The traffic here is really bad. So the population of Mongolia is 3.5 million. Hang on, so we don't get squashed. And the population of Ulaanbaatar is 1,600,000 people. And it keeps growing, which means that the traffic situation is pretty bad. So we learned the other day that there was a new ban introduced, that on the certain days, so one day only cars with an odd number allowed to be on the road, and another day the cars with even numbers are allowed to be on the road. So if you're stuck and your car can't be on the road that day, you can use public transport or taxis. But if you do decide to go out when you're not allowed to though, you're faced with pretty hefty fine. And I think this ban is going to last till February or end of Jan. I'm not quite sure about the date, but it's a new thing that was just introduced.
When we were driving in from the airport the other day, actually,
Oh my
it
God.
took us, I think, an hour and a half, definitely. And it was like 8 in the morning as well. And yeah, as soon as we hit the city, there was just traffic jam after traffic jam after traffic jam. It was actually quite incredible.
It's not just that, the driving was, you know how I imagine India to be? Like jam-packed and cars are really close to each other.
So aggressive.
That's how it was. I didn't expect to see that at all here. But yeah.
By the way, just to tap on to what Julia said about the population here, the population of the city is 1.6, 1.7 million, and the entire population of Mongolia is around 3.5 million, which means somewhere between 45 and 50% of the population of the entire country live just here in Ulaanbaatar, which is just incredible to imagine. We're in the 18th biggest country on Earth at the moment. It is massive, but it's effectively a city-state and just a massive territory that's almost completely empty other than that. And I think that's probably what makes Mongolia in many ways so incredible, that the nature here is just so vast and probably on a scale like nowhere else in the world. It is the least densely populated country on Earth by a long way. And then if you take Ulaanbaatar out of that and just look at the rest of Mongolia, at like 99% of Mongolia is even less densely populated. It is just so vast and so empty. It's incredible.
Do you know what else we've heard the other day? Which just blew my mind, is that the population again is 3.5 million people, and you know how many animals they have? 80 million. 80. At first I heard 18 million and I was like, a lot. But when you think 80 million animals, imagine 3.5 million people and 80 million animals.
You be careful.
They have pizza vending machine here. This is literally like Matt's paradise. Let's go have a look what they sell there. I haven't seen that anywhere before.
Automat pizza. Yes.
The Beatles, I just see, look.
Yeah, they're from Ulaanbaatar.
Ah, forgot.
Did you not know?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
Out of order. It's too early.
We'll check out later.
So Mongolia itself is absolutely massive, but when you look at it on a map, it almost pales in comparison to the two countries that are next to it. You've got Russia to the north and China to the south, two of the biggest countries on earth, and they've both had a lot of influence in modern day Mongolia and still do to this day. The script here of the Mongolian language is actually the Cyrillic script, which came during the socialist period when Mongolia was effectively a client state of the USSR. And the city itself, to be honest, is very similar to a lot of cities that we've seen across the former Soviet Union. We were kind of expecting that because we've heard that much of the city was built up during the early socialist period. But yeah, there's a lot of similarities. And actually, this is the first time we've been to Mongolia itself, but we've been very close before. We've been to a place called Ulan-Ude, which we have a video of on the channel, which we'll put up here somewhere. And Ulan-Ude is the capital of the Buryatia region in Russia. And Buryats, ethnic Buryats, are very similar to Mongolians. The languages are mutually intelligible and the culture is very similar. And yeah, it goes without saying that walking around Ulaanbaatar is very similar to walking around Ulan-Ude. But I actually think here in Ulaanbaatar it's a few degrees colder than it was in Ulan-Ude. Oh, it's right to the bone.
I love it. I love it.
Official language of Mongolia is, you guessed it, or maybe you didn't, it's Mongolian. This is Mongolian script, which is pretty gorgeous and written vertically. However, Mongolian in the country of Mongolia is mainly written in the Cyrillic alphabet. There are lots of different religions spread across the country, but the main one is Buddhism.
It's actually so much bigger than I thought it was going to be. This is Batar Square, which is the main square in the country, and can you see him over there? The big man himself, Genghis Khan, is looking over his city, over his empire. We'll talk more about Genghis Khan later, but he is the world's most famous Mongolian. He is the man that took Mongolia from up here on the steppe and spread it into a vast empire across the whole of Eurasia. But yeah, more on him later. Let's go have a look around the square. We've driven out about an hour from Ulaanbaatar to probably what is the most famous site here in Mongolia, the massive statue in honour to the most famous Mongolian of all, Genghis Khan, who during his reign set the wheels in motion for what was the biggest empire in the entire history of mankind, that stretched all the way from the Pacific Ocean across the Eurasian continent all the way over to Europe. The stories of Genghis Khan are ones that we've come into contact with in many places across the world. When we were in Uzbekistan and you hear the stories of how he ransacked cities on his way through, and all the way across into the Caucasus, modern day Turkey, all the way to Hungary. The effect that this man and his descendants had on modern history is absolutely unbelievable. And it all started here in Mongolia, high up on the Mongolian plateau, in a town about 300 kilometers in the northeastern direction from here. And yeah, just outside of Ulaanbaatar, they built this massive statue in his honor, looking over the Mongol steppe. Incredible. What a place.
And did you know that you can actually get inside the horse of Genghis Khan?
Should we go up?
Yeah.
Very strange experience.
What an amazing view.
Alongside being the coldest capital in the world, Ulaanbaatar is actually one of the most polluted capital cities in the world. Even though you can't see it that well whilst you're walking around the center, it is the first thing you notice when you're heading into the city from the countryside. Actually, the city of Ulaanbaatar is home to almost 50% of Mongolia's entire population of 3 million. Mongolia is by far the least densely populated country in the world, or put it another way, the emptiest country on planet Earth, with just 2 people per square kilometer of this vast land.
So the country of Mongolia that we're in now, as I said, is famous for being incredibly empty, and the population is very small. And this Mongolia, historically, during the period that it was controlled by China, was called Outer Mongolia, and then within the borders of the PRC today you have Inner Mongolia, and ironically there's more ethnic Mongolians inside of Inner Mongolia in China than there is here in the country of Mongolia itself.
Okay, this is completely irrelevant to anything, but I've been meaning to tell you for the past 3 years. My uncle told me that when he was working outside, when he was young, his nose got really cold and it grew. So he had a regular sized nose, but because of the cold, it became really big. And my uncle does have a big nose, to be fair. And he told me that story about, I don't know, 15 years ago. And from then, I was like really scared and concerned because I love the cold weather. I love being in the cold. I know it's not very good for your skin and all that, but I was terrified that my nose is gonna grow even bigger. So I told his son, my cousin, this story a couple of years ago. He was laughing at me so much that I bought it, and I was genuinely still scared of it. And then later on he told my gran about it, and my gran was like, yeah, that actually happened. She probably confirmed it. And to this day, this mystery is not resolved. It's still a big question, and I still don't know, can this happen or not? But just in case, I'm still a bit scared.
The fact remains that despite all of this worry that you're talking about, we've still visited the coldest city on Earth. We're here in the coldest capital on Earth. We always go to Siberia in the winter.
I'm just getting started. I'm not planning to stop, so
you love the cold that much
that I'm prepared to sacrifice my nose.
You're prepared to sacrifice your nose. I don't know whether it's admirable or a little bit nuts. Yeah, either or.
We'll go for both.
There's a thin line, perhaps.
Even though the temperatures weren't that low, we needed to take occasional pit stops to warm up our cameras and ourselves.
Is it too early for that?
For the strip club? Never too early. Сколько открытки стоит?
Открытка?
Да.
Это 1000 штук. Одна штука.
1000 одна.
Откуда вы приехали?
Из Сибири.
О, очень молодец. Очень холодно там?
Да.
Похоже.
Так же, как в Монголии, да, холодно.
Здесь тоже.
Да, так же.
И
здесь тоже.
Это хорошо.
Вот это унти, да?
Да.
Какие
Ого.
красивые. Теплые, да?
Да, теплые, монгольские.
Монгольские.
Монгольские ботинки.
Это какая животное?
Да, это, животные. Шип.
Sheep.
Sheep,
Goat.
Sheep, овца.
Овца.
Здорово.
О, вообще
Такие
хорошие.
А вы сами из Улан-Батора?
Да, Уланбаатар. Много лет здесь работаю.
Здесь
Ага.
Это ваш.
Да.
Каждый день?
Каждый день.
Даже под минус 40, да?
Иногда
Ага.
иногда дома.
Да.
Да, отдыхала.
Иногда.
Да. Спасибо.
Спасибо вам. До свидания.
До свидания.
So we just came out of the centre a little bit to this place, which is like a concert centre, children's centre, and it was here that there's usually a performance of Mongol throat singing, a band called Souvenirs, and yeah, we were really looking forward to seeing it and showing you and really hearing the harmonies of the Mongol throat singing, but
they're not performing during winter. They're only performing during the summer, and apparently now they're on holidays. So I'll have to do it. Does it sound like you're heading into a trance?
I'm already soothed, yeah, thanks. Thanks.
You. Thank you.
So yeah, basically you didn't need to go to the concert anyway.
No, I'm bummed.
Yeah, I'm pretty gutted, to be fair. We're really looking forward to that.
Well, we'll have to watch YouTube videos ourselves.
Basically, we'll cut to a video now, or the sound now, and pretend that we're there watching it, sharing it with you.
There is something that we really want to purchase while we're here in Mongolia. So let's head to the souvenir shop and hopefully grab it. I can't handle 2 disappointments in one day. It's better be there.
Sambanon.
Can we pay card?
Yeah.
Look, oh,
We accept all cards.
Perfect. Today's our lucky day.
I know, I'm so happy. Can you please help me?
Yeah, of
How
course.
many shall I take? I want 100.
You want 100?
I do, but I do want a lot of things, so that's probably...
Maybe 20 is enough.
30.
If I'd have said 15, would you have said 25?
I would say 30.
It's still say 30.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Bye, love. Bye-bye.
So this is a beautiful silk little bag. Looks so pretty. And these sheep ankle bones. And basically Mongolian people have lots of table games with these bones. So there are 4 different sides. This is horse, camel, goat and sheep. And my dumbass thought that they carve each bone so they're all uniform in the same shape, but no, these bones are naturally this shape. You'll see in the next video that we went to stay with a nomad family and they taught us lots of different games with these sheep bones. And I just really wanted to get them so we can play them, and I don't know, I just really like that. I haven't seen anything like that before and it was really interesting to participate in it. And when you think about it, it's so clever that they have lots of cattle and obviously they have, you know, lots of bones, and they make stuff out of everything they own, and it's quite amazing that they've made games out of bones. It's kind of gruesome at the same time when you play with bones, but amazing. Yeah, I'm so chuffed. We went around a few different souvenir shops yesterday and they were only selling 4 sets of 4, and they use these bones as well for fortune telling. So you toss them and then there are lots of different patterns that mean certain things. Each pattern depends what side the bones falls on. They were only selling like sets of 4, but I'm so happy that we managed to buy 30. I've got 30 bones.
Hi. And can we please get 2 1? These 2. These. So Mongolian food is obviously food of the steppe, food of nomads, which means it's very meat and dairy based. And 2 of the most famous dishes in Mongolia are buz, which are dumplings with meat inside, similar to the ones you get manti in Central Asia, or dumplings in China, also in Russia, pilmeni. And another one is kushur, which is the same as chebureki, so like fried pastry with meat inside, hot pockets, I think you call them, and we ordered them 2 bits, as well as a noodle dish called zuivan.
I think so, yeah. That's what I would call it.
We think zuivan, with fried peppers and onions and beef. Yeah, very hungry.
Very hungry. It's all just quite simple, hearty, feeling food. Perfect for getting you through this weather.
The food was really nice. If you do eat a lot of meat, consider moving to Mongolia. The real reason we came here is because we wanted to learn and find out more about nomads in Mongolia, and especially how they get through tough winters like this. So you're going to witness that in the next video, and for now, thank you very much for watching and see you in the next one. Mwah!
If you would like to get more exclusive content from us, like daily vlogs and other travel vlogs that we don't put on YouTube, you may want to check out our Patreon community, where we post our future plans and loads more other different things. And if you would like to get your name on the credit section here and just support our channel. On that note, thanks for watching this video and see you in the next one. Mwah!